Hi, this is Patrick Ananta Sutardjo. I am Kali child, and I would like to talk about spirituality today. There are different spiritual traditions, I would say, in the world, different religions. We can name and identify some major religions that are more prominent than others in the world. For example, we have Judaism, Christianity, Islam, then we have Buddhism, Hinduism, and then we also have Jainism and Sikhism. All of these religions are good religions. They're good religious practices with their own sets of rules and with their own deities or their own methods of worship or of meditation. And what is really important is that we should be aware of the common denominator that all these religions have in common, namely that they all teach to do what is good, to worship their respective deity. In Judaism and in Christianity and in Islam, the God of Abraham is worshipped, and Christians worship Jesus Christ also as the Son of God. And in Hinduism we have many different gods, and the supreme deity Krishna or Shakti Devi. And in Buddhism, no god is worshipped, and in Jainism, no god is worshipped. In Sikhism, there's also a god that they worship. And what is really important is that all these religions stress the importance of being a good person, of purity of the heart and mind. This we can find in the religions that worship a deity, and also in the religions that stress the importance of meditation, like Buddhism, for the purification of one's own mind and to do what is good in self-responsibility. Either, let's say, in the theistic religions with serving their respective deity, and in the other religions to do what is right without worshipping a particular deity. Not to say that Buddhism does not acknowledge the gods. Buddhism does acknowledge the gods, but there is no particular worship of a certain deity in Buddhism, because the importance is on self-development and on the purification of one's own mind for good and wholesome karma according to the highest law, because karma falls back on everyone. What we do and what we say, what we think, has repercussions and has consequences, karmic consequences that fall back on everyone with regards whether one's karma was good or whether one's karma was bad. And this we have also in Jainism. What is really important now is that this also encompasses the animals. All these religions are religions and are traditions that stress doing the good, so we should also do good for the animals. We should not eat meat. We should not support the cruelty and the killing of animals inflicted to the animals by humans, by many humans on this earth, because animals are misused and mistreated and exploited and abused for meat production, for fur, for leather, for animal testings, for cosmetics, for example. And all of this meat eating and slaughter of animals and animal testings, the slaughter of animals for fashion products, this is all evil, no matter whether you belong to a religion that honors and worships a certain particular deity, like for example the Lord Sebaot, or Allah, or Jesus Christ, or whether you worship Krishna, or whether you worship Shiva, or also if you worship no god, like in Buddhism or in Jainism, but it is all about doing good and being righteous, and righteousness can only be if you're compassionate and loving towards all creatures. So that includes also the animals and nature. That does not encompass only human beings, but that includes the animals and nature. So for all spiritual traditions, for all religions, it is really important to also extend love towards the animals and towards nature, and to not indulge and consent to the cruelty inflicted upon the animals in the industry, but to speak out for the animals and to stand up for the animals' rights and for the well-being of the animals. This is really important in all religions. This is pivotal in all religions, and you should not be eating meat in any religion if you want to be righteous, if you want to do good. What all religions stress, like Islam, for example, doing good, doing righteousness, being kind, being loving, or in Christianity also, or in Judaism. No matter whether there have been cases where in the holy books of certain religions, especially the Abrahamic religions, meat eating has not been sanctioned as such, but we also find passages in the books that say that we should not eat animals, we should not eat meat. And this is really crucial, because it means that we should live a life with compassion and love, which is inherent to all religions, a life of compassion, righteousness, love, loving kindness, goodness. This we find in Islam, we find in Christianity, we find in Judaism, we find this in Hinduism, we find this in Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism. This is pivotal and crucial to all the religions. So no meat eating, live vegetarian, live a vegetarian diet. It's more healthy because it has no bad karma to live vegetarian. To live vegetarian has good karma, because you are not inflicting any pains, and you're not inflicting any killing on the animals by living vegetarian. And this is common for all religions, to live a life of loving kindness and compassion towards all creatures, because in the theistic religions all creatures have been created by God. For example, in Islam, Allah is the creator of all creatures. Or in Christianity, we see that the Lord Sebaot has created through Jesus Christ all creatures, and of course, God is a loving God, a God who loves all his creatures that he has created, and therefore it is impossible to be righteous and to do the will of God when we eat meat, or when we consent to the killing or to the cruelty inflicted upon animals. So live vegetarian. It is important to not eat meat, to live vegetarian with compassion and love for all living creatures, and by this to live with a pure mind, with a pure heart, towards all creatures, towards all sentient creatures. So spirituality means to live a loving and kind life towards all creatures. Also in Zen Buddhism, for example. In Zen we find also the purification of mind, meditation, the principle of meditation, and of cleansing one's heart and mind by meditation, by the principle of meditation. And we do this for righteousness, for loving kindness, for harmony with all our fellow creatures in peace. So the peace that we want ourselves is also the peace that we should give all other creatures. So no consenting of killing, no consenting to cruelty against animals and nature, and of course against other human beings, so that all creatures can live in harmony. And this is what all religious traditions, all religions are teaching, to do good, and to do good for all sentient creatures. This is what I wanted to say today. I praise and glorify Allah. I give honor and thanks to Allah that I could make this video now for you to listen to these words that should induce loving kindness and compassion and righteousness in you. And I pray that you walk on the straight way, and I pray that Allah blesses you and your family, and I give honor to Allah. Allah is great. Amen.